Welcome to Retro Smash Gaming Podcast, your bi-weekly retro gaming podcast.
Hello.
I am Eric. Joining me is Nicholas. Nicholas, how are you doing?
I am good, I think. Cold, wet from the rain.
Yeah, it's been nasty out.
Yes. But other than that, not bad. How about you?
Doing all right.
Good.
Yeah. What are we talking about today?
I don't know. I forgot to take notes. What are we talking about today?
Today we are talking Star Fox 64. Ooh. No?
I have a love-hate relationship with Star Fox 64, but we'll get into that in a little bit.
Let's try to stick with the love. It's a very beloved game for me. I was trying to think of another word that didn't have love. Like I adore the game.
There you go. Adore's a good word.
Not to give any spoilers because I do have some qualms with it, but
right, but I don't know if it's just it wasn't what you know what, I'll get into that later. We'll get into all of that here in a little bit.
Yeah.
How's that sound?
Yeah. Before we get there, we have a game.
Yes, we do, and I am not the one that's going to be given the game today. You are.
That is correct.
Yay.
I was tired of looking like a fool.
That's not hard to do. I mean, is this thing on? Is this thing on? That's not hard. I'm just saying. I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
So I don't know if this is going to be as good as one of your games.
But I have confidence in you, though.
Yeah, I do too. I think I think you'll like it. Okay, so sticking with the space theme.
Yay. Are we going to Uranus?
No, god damn it.
Yes.
We are doing Star Wars or Ikea Drawers.
Ooh.
So I am going to list off some things, and you have to tell me if it is a planet from the Fallen Order Star Wars game, or it's a piece of Ikea furniture with drawers in it.
Oh my god. So it's either one. It's not like there's none that's neither, right?
Dis or dat.
Is it? Do you know what that means? That means you gotta do the song. You gotta do the song this week.
Is it this or is it that? Nick has... Is it pick or choose?
You want me to do the song?
Yeah.
Is it this or is it that? For a change, I have to choose. It's just me, this or that.
It's choose then.
Well, it's funny because your name has two syllables, so I can go Eric has to choose.
Or you could go Nikki has to choose.
I could be Nikki, sure. Nikki has to choose, or like I for once have to choose. Oh shit! All right, let's roll them.
First up, let's go. Eket.
Eket.
E-K-E-T. Eket.
So IKEA is Swedish.
Yep.
Right? That's all their stuff. For some reason, that sounds like one of those weird, like, I'm going to say it's an IKEA drawer.
Final answer?
Yes.
You would be correct.
Hey, 1 for 1.
All right, number 2, Rast. R-A-S-T. Rast.
Rast. Are there any umlauts or anything? Any kind of weird...
There are not, and I would not tell you if there were.
You wouldn't tell me, because it would give it away. I'm going to say that is a planet. I'm going to say it's a planet.
You would be incorrect.
Ooh.
All right, let's see. Number 3, we are going Nur. N-U-R.
Nur. Let's see. A Nur. I'm going to say that's an IKEA. That sounds too weird. I don't know. Like I like the Star Wars series have always had like these big, long, bodacious names to them. So I'm going to say N-U-R. I'm going to say that's an IKEA drawer.
That is incorrect.
Ooh, okay.
It's a Star Wars planet.
Oh.
So you are 1 for 3 right now.
Oof.
Number 4 is Tarva. T-A-R-V-A.
Tarva. I'm going to say that is an IKEA drawer.
You'd be correct.
Yay, I'm 2 for 4.
2 for 4. All right, number 5, Haga. H-A-U-G-A.
That sounds like a Star Wars planet.
Final answer?
Sure.
You would be incorrect.
Oh, ouch.
What do we got?
I need to clear these last 2 for the win.
All right. Number 6, Bogana. B-O-G-A-N-A.
Bogana. I think I'm going to stick with the theme. I'm just going to make... Now I know how you feel all the time. I'm going to say it's an IKEA drawer.
You'd be incorrect.
Oh, I lose.
That sucks.
Oh.
All right, and for the pointless number 7, Zepho.
Oh, you wait till last to give me the one I actually know?
Oh, you know that one?
No. I have no fucking clue what that is. I'm gonna say it's an IKEA drawer, just because I've guessed them all as IKEA drawers.
Star Wars Planet.
Oh god, how many of the Star Wars ones versus the IKEA drawers did you have on there? Was it 4-3 ratio?
Yeah, for IKEA.
Oh, I lose. I lose. My first game.
Yeah, how's it feel? Dumbass.
Ow. I deserve that. Not great. Not great.
Good. I like that.
Good. I'm glad you do. All right, you ready for the main topic?
Yep.
Because it's time for another Retro Smash deep dive. You're kind of looking like, I don't know if I like that or not.
All right, so we are talking Star Fox 64 today.
We certainly are.
This was the second game in the Star Fox series because Star Fox 2 did not come out until the Nintendo Classic, the Super Nintendo Classic came out.
Right, yes.
And that was because they never released that because the N64 was coming out. And there were some other problems too.
Did you ever play, by the way, before we jump into 64, did you ever play the original Star Fox on the Super Nintendo?
I have since the Classic came out, but I never did before.
Oh, I feel like that was really kind of clunky, but man, Nintendo tried a whole bunch of different stuff with their mode set. They really did.
Yeah, I didn't like it. The original.
It was weird. I saw somebody compare that one time to trying to play World of Warcraft on the Sega Saturn. I felt like that was a fair analogy. Like the concept was great, but it was a little before its time or whatever. But I mean, I don't think it was that terrible.
It was.
It was. Okay.
Yeah.
But
maybe not at the time.
Right.
Yeah, definitely now. All right. This was developed by Nintendo EAD and obviously published by Nintendo. It came out in Japan on April 27th, 1997, in North America on June 30th, 1997, and in the PAL regions on October 4th, 1997. Dude, 97 was a stacked year for games.
Well, didn't Ocarina of Time come out that year too?
I don't have that on my list, but we have games such as Final Fantasy VII.
Okay.
Mario Kart 64.
Ooh, okay.
Fallout. Which, I never played the original Fallout. I didn't play until they came out on the consoles.
Right, me either. So that's fair. Yeah.
So I don't know if Fallout was a good game, but the franchise and series that it started.
Since then, yeah.
Symphony of the Night.
Ooh.
GoldenEye. Gran Turismo. Diddy Kong Racing. And then a few of my personal favorites, which probably aren't that big of games. But Age of Empires. Played that on the PC.
Okay.
And another PC game. Lego Island.
Lego Island?
Did you ever play that?
No.
No, it's you are on an island made of Legos.
Wow. I would have never guessed.
Nope.
I would have never guessed.
Yeah, I remember loving it as a kid, and I don't remember too much about it. I mean, you could deliver pizzas or some shit. I think there's some races you had to do. But it was none of this sounds great because I don't remember, but
on an island.
On an island, yeah.
Made of Legos.
Lego Island.
Well, hot damn.
Hot damn. So Star Fox 64, it had some good reception when it came out. EGM gave it a 9.125 out of 10.
That's awfully specific. 9.125.
That's fucking stupid. You say specific, I say stupid. GameSpot 8.3 out of 10. IGN 8.7 out of 10. And Nintendo Life gave it a 9 out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
Everybody loved this game. And you know what? I did too. Like, before I come and crap all over it and crap all over your hopes and dreams because you like this game, I really did like this game.
You did play it when you were younger?
Yes, but I didn't have a 64 growing up. I almost did. And you know what it was that almost got me my N64? Like, what I was wanting, because I was picking between that and a PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
Those Taco Bell N64 toys. You remember those?
No, I don't.
Oh, they had, and I think they had a couple Star Fox toys too. They had, I'm looking it up here. They had a, let's see, 1997 Nintendo 64 set of 5 Taco Bell kids meal toys. They had one in the shape of an actual, like a little mini N64 controller, but it was like a marble maze that you had to like go through with a plastic dome. There was a Yoshi. There was a There was like a little pyramid that you had to just try to move a ball through.
Mm-hmm.
I really wanted those, and I think that was the one thing that really like tried to sway me into getting a 64. So goddamn subliminal advertising, it worked.
It didn't because you didn't get it.
Right. Well, I mean, it worked on me, but I ended up getting the PlayStation instead, which I think completely rewrote my entire
The gaming history.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's exactly what I was gonna say. My
It
entire
changed your
gaming history.
trajectory.
Yeah, and
There we go. Big
between
words.
that and the Pokeballs that everybody got at Burger King.
Yep.
Yeah.
The ones that came with little gold plates.
Yep. And
Yep.
didn't some actually have the little Pokemon characters inside?
Maybe. I don't remember.
For some reason I thought they were, because I wanted to get all of those and like hang around my belt loop and like look like a badass and go like try to catch them all. And because in 1997 I was in second or third. I was in second or third grade. And man, all the kids that had like the shiny chrome Pokeballs with the stuff inside, they were like pimps. And I was so fucking jealous all the time because they got all the cool stuff. They got all the kisses under the playground, and I didn't get no kisses. I didn't have no chrome Pokeballs. I didn't have no cool Taco Bell N64 toys. I didn't get no kisses. I didn't get none of that cool stuff.
So yeah, I didn't have a Nintendo 64 either when I was growing up. I played this game mostly at my babysitters. I think exclusively at my babysitters.
Now, let me ask you, did you play more single player or did you play more multiplayer while you were there?
Both, honestly. Like, I don't think one sticks out more than the other. But I'll tell you what, it came out on the Switch, and I could have swore that you could play multiplayer co-op.
I swore too. I think you can. Can you not? Like, and that's what I remember too. I think you and I kind of lived the same childhood, because all of this game, until it came out on the Switch, I didn't play any of the single player mode on this game. My cousin had this for the 64, and I only remember playing like the open arena battle style on like versus mode.
Yeah, I think it's one of those like Mandela effects.
I think you're right. Yeah,
because I mean you can't play co-op. But so yeah, we played both the multiplayer like battle thing or the single player. So if you're not familiar with this game, and I can't imagine you wouldn't be, but maybe you're not. Who am I to judge?
We don't assume around here. Do you know what happens when you assume?
Yep. So it's a space shooter game. You play as Fox McCloud, who is the leader of the Star Fox team, their group of mercenaries. And I find it kind of confusing at times. The story of the game is you are going after Andros, who is this evil scientist in one of the planets in the Lilat system where you're playing. Your dad, James McCloud?
James, yeah. I do remember that much. I didn't get a whole lot into the story, but I do remember James McCloud.
Yeah, he gets taken by Andros, and so then there's, Fox McCloud. So I always think of like Star Fox as Fox, but Star Fox is the actual team.
Hey, from now on, when you say Fox McCloud's voice, can you do it like the big
I can't.
Super Smash voice?
I won't.
Fox McCloud.
No. I won't do that. So you got to work your way through all these different planets to get to the big bad, Andros. In the game, there's, like we were talking about, there's really two main types, like game modes. There's the campaign mode, which you play the campaign, pretty self-explanatory, or the multiplayer mode, which you could do the point match, battle royal, not royale, right?
Oh, it's not royal. Oh, it's battle royal.
Yeah. And time trial. So in the point match, you play at a certain like point. Like if you set 5, then whoever gets like 5.
Yeah, it's like battle mode in the original, actually in all of the Mario Kart games.
Then battle royal is last one standing, and the time trial is whoever scores the most in that set amount of time. In the campaign, what's really unique about this game is they have the branching level system. So depending on what you do and how you do in one level, it will determine the path you take to get to Andros. So there's most of the levels you control a spaceship called the R-Wing, but a few you're on land as well, the Landmaster, and one you're in a sub.
I didn't get to the sub. When I was playing again.
It's a rail shooter game, meaning like you're on rails throughout the game. You are forced to progress. Like there's no like gas button where you go. Like you're always going. You're on rails. And
Gotcha. I think that's a good way to describe that. Yeah.
like through a tunnel almost.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
like that's how the game's developed, but they
Yeah.
put all the shit around it so you don't feel like you're in a tunnel. But essentially,
You don't feel like you're moving forward, but you actually are.
But then, there's a few times, like when you fight some of the bosses, you go in all range mode, which is just this big, like square rectangle map, and you have to stay within the boundaries, but it's free flying within there. And in the game, you got like bombs, laser upgrades that you could use, and the silver and gold rings, which are like your health. But what's also cool about the game is you have wingmen. You have Falco, Slippy, and Peppy, and they each kind of do something different. Falco sometimes locates the alternate routes. Slippy gives you like boss's health and shit like that. And Peppy just gives you like general advice. But there's also Bill and Cat too.
Bill and Cat.
Yeah, in a few of the levels, there's like another wingman that comes in.
Really?
One's Bill. Yep, one's Bill and one's Cat.
Huh.
And they just stick around for that level. And maybe one more after that. But I think Bill sticks around for 2 levels. The one with the giants, like the mothership, I think he comes. And then also in the level after that, the lava, if I remember right.
That's as far as I got. I got like the lava level when I tried playing this again.
I remember thinking just how cool it was to work with the wingmen, right? Like you're all working as a team and all that. And that's how I remember it, like as a kid. But playing it now, they don't do shit.
Exactly.
Like, honestly, it's just an illusion of help. But I don't know that they fire one shot.
No, and they're always in trouble, and you always have to save their asses because it's like, hey, I know you're shooting enemies, but hey, help me or I'm going down. And it's like, oh God, again.
They're a pain to save all the time. It really is.
Yeah.
And so most of the time you just say fuck it and go rogue.
Right, yeah.
But even though they're not helping that much, you never have the feeling of being overwhelmed with enemies. You disagree?
It gets a little... I feel like it gets a little hectic at times. It's not like a crazy amount of enemies, but I found myself, when I tried to play this again, like trying to play through the campaign, it's like I wasn't 100% sure what I needed to shoot.
What do you mean?
Like when going through like the city or going through like one of the first couple levels, it's like there's so many like, like going through the asteroid belt. It's like, what rocks can I shoot? What rocks can't I shoot?
You're not just spamming the shoot button the whole time?
No, I'm trying not to.
Yeah, because you also have the charge that you can use.
Yeah, and like I say, I want to hold it down. But it's like if I would hold it down, then it does go into like this supercharge mode, which is great. But man, that thing kind of takes. I need that thing to. I wish that supercharger would charge up a lot faster than what it does.
Yeah. There's definitely times that you can use it when you have less enemies on the screen.
Right. I do like the fact that it can lock in though. That really makes my life easier.
Yeah. And it can be frustrating to hit the enemies sometimes if you're just trying to shoot, not lock in on them, because the way they move, they're just so like hectic at times.
Yeah, it's erratic and it's hard to lock on. So and I know exactly what you're trying to say because that's one of my major qualms is the actual gameplay.
Well, you text me or we talked somehow. I think it would be text.
Right.
And you said you hated how it recentered your cursor.
Yes.
If you're like shooting off to the right, or your cursor's aimed to the right, and you let go, it'll always like what's the word?
It kind of guides me back to the center. It's like I don't want to be. If I want to be on the right side of the screen permanently, I have to hold over the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't just go over and like stay within these parameters because I feel like it's always kind of pulling me back in the middle.
That's something that I never really noticed, or it never bothered me when I was a kid. But you bringing it up and it just bringing it to my attention, like, okay, I could understand why that would be a problem and why you wouldn't like that. But did it get any better?
I did try it on a couple different controllers. I tried it. You know what's funny? The one that was the best at it was the 2-handled Switch Joy-Con controller, oddly enough, where I could actually like hold my hands apart and do one for mostly navigating and one for mostly shooting. I felt like that made it easier, but it still didn't like completely cure what I wanted it to cure. But it made it a lot easier than actually using like a regular handheld Switch controller.
Well, that just seems like it would all be in your head, though.
And maybe it was. And also, I think it's just because this was the first time and I did it for this review, I played through the campaign, or tried to, because I sat here.
So you never played the campaign when you were a kid?
No.
Oh, really?
And I'm starting to think that's the issue that I had. That was the disconnect I had with this game.
Oh, I see. Because because in the multiplayer, it's always all range mode where
Exactly.
it
And I
doesn't
can move
recenter you.
wherever I want.
So in your head, that's what the game is.
Yes.
Oh.
And I'm starting to think that's exactly what it is, because when I was over at like my cousin's and I'll either watch him play or we'd play, battle mode, and I didn't have that problem. Or at least not that I remembered,
And it's not something you ever got used to when you're playing it this way or this time through?
no, I felt like it was more difficult, which sucks because I really, really want to like this game, but it's like I feel like it's too much of a pain in the ass. Or it's not what I remembered it being.
Well, no, it sounds like it wasn't at all what you remembered being, because what you were playing was completely different game. Not completely different game.
Right.
That's a little dramatic, but
Well, no.
the mechanics of it are different.
No. And here's why I'm going to say that. Because it's funny that you bring up games made in 1997. There was another game that I think most people remember mostly for the multiplayer and not for the campaign.
GoldenEye?
GoldenEye.
Yeah.
GoldenEye didn't have that problem. Because when you're playing multiplayer and you're moving laterally, room to room, you don't recenter. You can stop moving, you can go backwards. When you play the campaign, it's the same way. You have a full range of motion. Is it just because you're always moving like in this tunnel where the game almost has to like correct you at times and keep you from going off screen? Because if there's a whole bunch of stuff on the left side, I obviously want to be on the right side of the screen to avoid it. But if I'm not holding it, then it's going to try to center me back a little bit, which is a pain in the ass. Because the multiplayer and the campaign in GoldenEye work exactly the same.
Yeah,
multiplayer in the campaign in Star Fox does not.
Yeah.
Or at least I don't think it does. Maybe it is in my head. I don't know.
No, I think you're right. With the all range mode, you
get a lot more freedom of movement. I don't feel like my movement was constricted.
Because it will still center the cursor in the middle of the screen in all range mode, but you don't feel like it pulls you or corrects you as much.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, is that fair to say?
That is fair to say, because it's like, I'm not moving straight down this tunnel, so I'm not I only have one way to move, but I'm always moving forward. Whereas in range mode, if I'm go to the right, the game wants me to move to the right. So I'm not going straight, but on the right side of the screen, I'm actually turning to the right.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm trying to shoot something while I'm moving to the right, that's a me problem. If you're going out of my range of view and I'm trying to move to the right to shoot you, that's a me problem.
Yeah.
That's not a game problem. That's a me problem. Whereas in the campaign mode, that is a game problem. Or at least I feel like it wasn't very... I don't know. It is hard to... I mean, you are getting what I'm trying to say, though, right?
I do. And I mean, I could understand why it would be a problem. But I think it's just something that you need to get used to, honestly, and kind of change how you play a little bit. At least how I play is I don't necessarily try to chase the person around with the cursor. I try to get the enemy in the center of the screen and center the enemy up and keep it, within a few, however you measure that, of the center. That way I'm just kind of do.
And I couldn't do that.
Keeping around.
I couldn't manage to figure out how to do that.
Well, you, sir, are a dumbass.
Well, I mean,
I'm not wrong.
No, you're not wrong. I just straight up, you, sir, are a dumbass.
So let's
I might be, honestly.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So let's get into the levels. In the game, there's 15 or 16 levels, and I think it depends on so I think there's how am I trying to say this? Depending on the final boss, the Andros fight, if you fight one version of him or another would be the 16th, I think.
Okay. Interesting.
What's really cool about the game is the different paths. There's an easy, medium, and hard path that you can take throughout the game. And again, just depending on how you do in that level will determine what planet you go to next.
I think I took the hard path the entire time. I must have. I don't know.
And there's 25 different paths you could take through the game.
Wow.
Yeah. In that first level, when Falco has, I think, 3 people chasing him, you have to take out all 3 and then go and fly through under each of the archways that are on the water. if you fly through all the archways and save Falco, that'll open up the other path for you, and you'll fight, I think, a different boss. You'll go through the waterfall and all that. Did you do that?
No,
No.
I didn't know any of the secrets, so
Yeah,
I
because
was
I
just pretty
think
much
when we were
on
talking,
rails.
yeah, I think when we were talking about it, I said you just have to save Falco. I didn't say
Right.
anything about
And
the
I had about a
archways.
quarter of a second to save Falco,
Yeah,
and
you got to boost.
yeah, I know that now.
Yeah, because I say there's no like gas in the game, like it's always pushing you forward, but you can boost and
That
brake.
boost is weird. The boost and the brake is weird
Why?
because like it's exactly like feel like I'm not moving. It's just when I hit accelerate, I don't know, maybe my depth perception in that game was kind of off. It felt like, I don't know. It's probably because I am constantly moving and I'm not hitting the gas and I'm not hitting them like really coming to a complete stop when I hit brake either.
That's just kind of throwing you off that you're always moving, you think?
I think so.
Yeah. So how far did you get in the game?
I got to the lava level and I was constantly dying.
Solar. Yeah.
I think I constantly died and I died a lot. And then I think I managed to find out a way to go the other way. And I did the one with where you're in like a little dune buggy actually on land, where you got to save Slippy and where you have to aim in a really precise spot to take out the final boss there. And that was a pain in the ass.
Which I'm trying to think which level you're talking about.
I didn't make
Yeah,
it
I can't
past those
remember.
points.
Yeah, solar is a pain in the ass because you're constantly losing health
Right.
because you're so close to the lava.
I need
and
my
whatnot.
Varia suit. Nothing? No laughs?
Oh,
Are you just going to edit out like 15 seconds of my audio?
No, I was looking at my notes and I wasn't really paying attention.
Oh, thank you. At least you're honest. Thanks,
Did
bud.
you get to Macbeth, the train one where you're on the Landmaster?
No.
No, that one's kind of fun. But there's to do like the alternate route or whatever, you have to hit like 7 switches, like shoot them.
Okay.
And I could never figure out where that fucking last switch is. Or there might be 8, I don't know. But either way, like I can never figure it out. So if you know where it's at, please let me know. I mean, I could look it up, but
Are you just talking to the audience in general, or are you talking to me? Because I have no fucking clue.
well, no, I have no faith that you will ever know. I'm talking to the audience.
Fair.
But going back to Solar a little bit, because that boss sucks too.
Okay, and it wasn't just me.
I cannot figure out where to hit him.
Right.
Like
okay,
the
thank you.
hitbox
Yes.
is just so fucking weird.
Yes.
And you know,
Thank
it's
you.
like that with a lot of the bosses, I think at least. Like the hitboxes, it's hard to like get precise hits on them. But the thing is, once you do and figure it out, their health drops pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I think, you know, they might be like intentionally small, the hitboxes. That way, you know.
That way you can't hit them.
Right. And
And
yeah,
then when
they
you
do that on
it actually
purpose.
feels like a reward.
So talking about the bosses and the enemies in general, like I said, it's a pain in the ass to hit the enemies sometimes. And they're just like normal ships. And,
Yeah.
you know, there's, you know, small changes to the enemies. Some of them might fly up in front of you and then stop, but they still, you know, take like a hit or two to knock down.
Right.
That one that shoots the colorful orbs, I think it's the asteroid field. These like colorful orbs in like a spiral pattern.
Yes.
Fucking hate that.
Yeah, because it takes about a third of your health every hit.
But, you know, like the enemies, they're not super difficult, most of them. But another thing that makes you lose health, probably more, honestly, is the obstacles. Whether it be the lava with the little lava worms jumping up, or, you know, asteroids
asteroid
or
belt
falling
was-
buildings.
The asteroid field was the worst for me. Just because like getting in between the rocks was a pain in the ass.
Then you also, like some of the enemies, you have the Star Wolf team. Do you remember that?
I do, yes. I actually fought that team of 4.
Yeah, Wolf and Leon, Pigma, who used to be good,
Yeah, Pigma is a
and
dirty,
Andrew.
dirty traitor bitch.
And again, just like the bosses, like they're harder to hit, but once you hit them, their health drops really quickly. Did you play the level with the bosses at the end of the robot soldiers? You had the 2.
I don't think so.
No. Oh, those are a pain in the ass too, because if you think that just like a regular enemy is hard because they're hectic, those are even harder. And then after you defeat those, you do like another bigger, maybe not bigger, but like a badder type thing. And
Oh,
again, it's
God.
just so fucking hard to hit.
Oh, God.
It's safe to say you never got to the Andros fight.
No, it is yes, it is safe to say I never got there, no.
I don't know how much we want to talk about it because, well, if you've never played it, and just like spoilers, but
Go for it.
I would say it's just hard to hit at times. Health drops fairly quickly. Just that seems pretty status quo for the bosses. So I don't want to go too much into it. What do you think about the graphics? Let's talk
I
about that for a little bit.
I thought this game still looked good. I mean, that's what stinks because the game really does look good, it's colorful. Obviously, it could use a polishing, which, is neither here nor there, but that's just games in 1997 in general. They can always use a good polishing if you do it right. I'm looking at you, GTA Trilogy, but I thought the game looked nice. It really did.
Yeah, it still looks really good. I would feel pretty safe in saying that it's one of the best looking N64 games.
I could agree with that. Yeah.
It's not like a polygonal look like some of them have.
There were no pointed boobs like there was in no pointed boobs
No
like in
pointed
Tomb Raider.
boobs.
No point. Oh, it's a shame.
All the levels have a pretty unique look and they all look good. Some of the textures, like on the mountains and buildings and on the ground, they're not great.
Like cheaply rendered.
Yeah, it is what it is though.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
it's a minor complaint really. Dude, the animations are so fucking smooth in this game, whether it be like blowing up the enemies, like
Like a supernova effect. Yeah.
right, yeah, it just looks so good. The barrel roll looks good.
Do a barrel roll.
All the cutscenes look good too. The like graphic design of the HUD with your health and your hits and your life and bombs, it's functional and it looks good. It's clean and simple.
It doesn't get in the way.
No, not at all.
No.
Easy to understand.
Do a barrel roll.
Okay, so you keep saying do a barrel roll. Let's talk about the sound a little bit.
Oh, God. What sound? The only sound I heard was do a barrel roll, help me out, stop shooting at me, Fox.
The soundtrack was produced by Koji Kondo, who is pretty famous in like the Nintendo world.
Yeah, why have I heard that name before?
He's the composer for most of the Mario games and the Zelda games. Very well revered in the industry. Any soundtrack that he's on, like it's going to be good.
Like, did he do a lot of the more recent Mario games, or was it just like some of the older Mario games?
So he was the third person hired by Nintendo for music and sound effects.
Like third person ever?
Third person ever.
Or like the third person, like the first two didn't work out and they hired somebody else.
No, like the
that
third person ever.
Oh.
So like, yeah, I'm not sure how many games he does now, but like the original like Mario games and shit like that were composed by him. Zelda.
Classic.
Yeah, no, for sure. The music has like an epic feel to it.
I didn't notice
it. Oh, you didn't feel that?
I was too intense trying to get the game to work, and then all I heard was Slippy, Slippy, watch out. Do a barrel roll.
And that's
Fox,
really
help me.
The voiceovers or whatever you want to call them are really what this game is, like the sound is remembered by. Because they were really well done. And I remember like just being wowed by it as a kid.
Really?
I do, yeah.
Well, you really loved your just having teammates in general.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. But now kind of fucking sucks because
they're useless.
Yeah, they don't do shit.
Like, you're not going to give me health. You're not going to give me any kind of drops. You're not going to help me take out enemies. You're just going to run around. And they're bait.
Right.
They're bait. And they're not good bait either.
Yeah, there were so many memorable lines from this game. Like you said, do a barrel roll was one of them. I think Pepe also says like, use bombs wisely.
Oh, yeah. And like I said, a lot of the times I ended up, because I'm getting one of those sporadic kind of chaos modes. I'm shooting everything. So I often got yelled at for friendly fire.
Who are you guys? We're Star Fox. Or Shogun is his name. That like little robot, not little, but the robot soldier flying around. He several times when you're fighting him, cocky little freaks. Falco though, like he's so cocky and annoying. No, bitch, I'm the fucking leader. Like you want to act like you're big shit, but you're not. Just like shut the fuck up.
Oh yeah, annoying bird. I am the great Leon. He can sure be a pain in the neck. Oh my god, I found the entire Star Fox 64 script.
Where do you think this fell on the list of the best-selling Nintendo 64 games?
Oh, Let's see. The best-selling Nintendo 64 games. A number that just popped into my head was 14.
Ninth.
Ninth.
It's the
Okay, so I was
ninth best
close.
selling.
I was close. What was that? What was ahead of it? I'm curious.
Oh, I don't have the list in front of
Oh,
me, but
probably,
Ocarina of Time,
yeah,
GoldenEye,
GoldenEye.
Mario Kart, Mario.
Probably Double Dash was GameCube, wasn't it?
Yeah. Maybe Banjo-Kazooie?
Ooh, I love me some Banjo-Kazooie. I love me some Banjo-Kazooie. Probably the best concept for an ending boss fight ever.
It is still a well-regarded game in terms of gameplay and looks. Maybe not gameplay so much for you, but I
Yeah.
still think people like it now. It was released on the Wii and Wii U virtual consoles, re-released on the 3DS, and recently came out on the Nintendo 64 online for the Switch. There were several games that came out in the franchise after this. You had Star Fox Adventures and Star Fox Assault for the GameCube, Star Fox Command for the DS, and Star Fox Zero for the Wii U. None of the other games in the franchise
Weren't
came
even
close to touching this.
Was that was like would you say that was one of the first games that that came out in the 64? Did you say that right?
It came out in 97. When the 64 come out?
96?
I was thinking 96 as well.
Maybe 96, 97?
But this game is why people love the Star Fox franchise.
Oh yeah, this is the quintessential.
And this game alone is why people want Star Fox games still to be made to this day. Even though, and I haven't played any of them since, so I probably shouldn't say that, even though the rest are trash. I'm confident in saying, just in
Compared to this,
comparison,
yes.
they're no. You got any final thoughts?
This game, it looks great. It's like I said, the controls are weird, but I think there's for some reason, like mentally, I think there's a different control scheme between playing multiplayer and playing campaign. And all I remember was multiplayer. Trying to play the campaign was a whole different ballgame for me. And it was just weird and clunky and a little unresponsive.
I loved this game as a kid. Absolutely loved it. Like I said, I adored it. This was the game on the Nintendo 64 for me.
Really?
Yep. I didn't play the 64 a ton. I've played a lot more since, but when I was a kid growing up, let's see here. I don't think I played much Mario Kart 64 at all. I played a little because we never had one. The 64 to me came down to playing at my babysitter's or a friend's house. And then my cousin had it and I played Smash one time at their house and I fucking hated it.
You hated the original Smash?
Yes.
That's pretty funny.
As a kid, the extent of my N64 knowledge was Star Fox, the one game of Smash, Mario 64, NBA Jam, and the Star Wars game, Empire.
You said Age of Empires?
No, the Star Wars game, Empire, Shadow of the Empire, I think.
Gotcha. I think my N64 knowledge was mostly at one of my friend's house. Like I said, my cousin had it and he played Star Fox. I had another cousin that had a 64 and she played a lot of she actually they were into the Mario Kart and they were into Metal Gear Solid.
Mm.
And then I had another friend that was into GoldenEye and WWE No Mercy.
So a lot of what wowed me about this game when I was a kid does not wow me anymore. You know, like the branching level system. Like that's not uncommon for games now.
Right.
The teamwork, you know, that wowed me as a kid.
Right, yeah.
Which obviously does not now. The dialogue, like it was really good for the time, but like that's just what a game should be now.
This is the benefit. This game did set a lot of benchmarks.
Sure.
I'll say that, yeah.
And it's not as good as what I remember. It's probably me romanticizing, you know, the past a little bit.
Yeah.
And I had not played it for years and years, like between playing it as a kid. So there was a lot of romanticizing with it, I think. But it's still a very smooth game. It sounds good. It looks good. It may not be as good as what I remember, but 100% it still holds up to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
Good. So what would you give it grade-wise then? Just in retrospect.
It's a game you should definitely play. If we're just doing pass, play, whatever, just play it for sure. Buy it. Well, unless you have the Switch online, then you could play it on there. But it's definitely a game that I would recommend playing, if not buying.
Okay. This may be my first ever incomplete.
So explain your scoring system.
So the scoring system is the Weldy system, of course. W being wow, E being extra good, L being liked it, D being didn't like it, and Y being yuck, play something else. I feel like I had to give this game an incomplete. Like I couldn't give it a fair grade because all I remember, like I feel like if we got together and played the multiplayer, maybe I could actually give it a grade. But I don't remember playing a lot of the. I didn't play the campaign, so playing the campaign was a whole different beast and a whole different style of gameplay, which was weird for me. So I really can't give it a grade. I got nothing for you today, which I know sounds like a cop out, but I feel like there's two totally different games here.
Yeah, it's definitely a cop out. But we could get online and play.
That is true. Yes,
Yeah.
you can play this game online, can't you?
I would fucking smoke you.
You would, maybe, probably.
If you're more comfortable with multiplayer than what you are campaign, then probably not.
I mean, you'd probably still win, but at least give you a run for your money. Because, like I said, multiplayer was more of what I remembered and more like the better flying style.
Let's fly on out of here.
Hey, make sure you do a barrel roll.
Let us know what you think about Star Fox 64. Do you love it like I do, or is it incomplete like Nicholas over there?
I am incomplete.
So you can catch Nick on Twitch Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday.
Yes.
Thursday still community night.
Thursday is still community night, and I just bought the new Jackbox 8, which is a blast.
Is that new?
Yes.
Oh, nice. All right, so follow us on Twitch at retro_smash.
Twitter at retro underscore.
On
I was
Twitter.
like, you're on Twitch now?
No,
I got all
no,
excited.
Not quite. Follow us on Twitter at retro_smashed, and you can join our Discord. Discord link is in our Twitter bio.
Yep.
And I think that's all.
That is all.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Yes, thank you so much. We certainly do appreciate all of you guys tuning in every week or bi-week. Bye.